What's good, guys? Welcome back to Crime Stories Sunday. So today we're going to be talking about the girl in the box. But before we begin, I want to ask you guys, have you checked out my podcast on Apple and Google? We are now officially on both formats. I'm working on Spotify, but I hope you guys tune in. I upload on there every Monday, so you get double the dosage of me on Mondays. So wanted to throw that in because I have been forgetting to mention it because it's all new. It's so new. But I'm so excited. So hope you guys join me on that. So now let's get into today's story. So today's story focuses on Colleen Stan. Now, guys, you probably heard about this story, meaning the title, The Girl in the Box. Or you may have not. I have never heard of this story, one, because the case is very old, but some others may have because they have made this story into a movie called The Girl in the Box. So you've probably seen it on like Amazon Prime. I'm not sure if it's on Netflix, but when I was researching, I did see that it was on Amazon Prime. I'm going to go try and check it out if I can. You know, I like those type of things. So the story focuses on a married couple, and it's so ironic that some of these crimes are done by married couples or partners, right? And that is just baffling to me that a woman can allow their man to rape and beat, you know, another woman. Like, you're a woman yourself and you may have children down the line, or if you have children or daughters, I wouldn't want anyone to do my children that way. So before we get to Colleen, I do want to give you guys a backstory on the hookers. Ironic name, the hookers. Cameron and his wife together. So they raped two women, murdered one, and kept the other one in a box. And what he did is he developed this ploy of creating a sadistic, demonic type of community, and in that way he can have the person be his slave and to listen to him. All this crazy mess, psychotic mess. Like, it reminds me, I swear, of Paul. Maybe that's where Paul got his sadistic mess from. So in 1969, the two settled down together, and this is where Cameron's personality begins to change. He begins to have kind of like a personality disorder, but no one would have imagined the magnitude of what he would basically do. When he met his wife, Janice, this is where he developed a darker side of him. She was 15. She met Cameron when he was 19 years of age. But what's so ironic is when I was reading one of the articles, it stated how Janice basically, she didn't have any self-confidence. So whatever guy she met, she would basically latch onto them. And so I think by her being this type of girl, I mean, one, you're 15, so you're not gonna like know everything anyways, but two, this gives some men this ability to be controlling over you, because it happens every day, even now, and you don't even have to be super young, but it just happens. It just happens. And so as their story develops, Cameron was basically into a lot of things, you know, sexually, far as handcuffs or whippings, and he did these things with other girlfriends. So when he got with Janice, he really wanted to experiment with her, and I personally believe by her being super young, I think that this gave him another leverage when it came to sex, because some men who are sick in the head and they're dating young girls, they don't look at it as the same as dating like an adult woman. And really baffling is Janice never really liked these acts that he would do. He almost killed her one time with the whippings and the strangling and all of that crazy stuff some people like now you're just taking it too overboard if you want to be doing all that stuff. Like, be kinky, but you don't have to try to kill me, sir. No, thank you. I think in Cameron's mind, he wanted like someone to be like his sex slave. He wanted someone to be submissive to him so he can be dominant and in control. And I think this was just only the beginning. It was like, once you allow, okay, let me put it this way. if you're dating someone and you don't like to be choked, strangled, or whatever in sex, speak up. And I think by Janice not speaking up, and because it frightened her, it was kind of like this thing, like some people who are sick, that excites them when it frightens you and you're scared. You know, that's why sometimes a lot of people rape women or younger girls, because they're so in their mind that you're afraid, you're frightened, and that's just what they do. As their relationship builds, they're married, all that good stuff, Janice wants a baby. So in order for Janice to get a baby, Cameron gives her an ultimatum. We go get sex girls and you can have a baby. So of course, Janice is going to go with this because Janice wants a baby. As the relationship builds, they're married. In 1976, they have a daughter. And so of course, you had the baby. So now it's time for you to go of your end of the bargain. It's time to have girls. So in 1977, this is where they kidnap Colleen Stan. They end up finding Colleen, 20-year-old Colleen, while they were out driving with their baby. Like, are you serious? Unbeknownst to Colleen, she was just trying to hitchhike to a party. And at this time, it's 1977. So I don't know what 1977 is, but I'm not hitchhiking in 2020. Hell, I don't even Uber or Lyft because there's some things that goes on with that too. But she was hitchhiking, trying to get a ride to her friend's party. But little did she know, these two had a sick plan in motion for her. So when they pulled over, Colleen was reassured because, of course, Janice is in the car. They have a baby. So you're not thinking these people will kidnap you and do all types of things to you. But little did Colleen know. As soon as they pulled off, Cameron threatened Colleen with a knife. This is the crazy part that he did. He locked her head in a wooden head box. So he had this head box sitting in the freaking vehicle so that way he could, when he found someone, do this to this person so that they will not get away. He plotted good. When they get home, this is when Janice unhooks the head box. And then this is when the craziness of it all happens. They strip Colleen naked, they hang her from the ceiling and gag her. Y'all, can you imagine someone doing some sick shit like that to you? Colleen went through so much. She was electrocuted, she was whipped, she was raped. She endured so much over a 7-year period in this home. And what makes matters worse, she also had to sign a sex slave contract. And in this contract, she had to basically call them master, ma'am, sir, only be referred to as the letter K. So she wouldn't be referred to, of course, by her name, but just the letter K. Where she stayed at, she stayed directly under their bed. So she was in like a box directly under their bed. And it was even reported that Janice gave birth to their baby on their bed and she was in the wooden box. I'm like, OMG. What he did is later on, he basically put fear into Colleen. He basically said that he has this company and if she tried to run away, they would track her down, basically trying to control her in a manner that she wouldn't run away at all. And what's really crazy is Janice's stipulation was that he never had sex with Colleen. So what he did is he would still rape Colleen, but he would do it in front of Janice. Can you imagine as a wife? You let this man do this nasty stuff. And then now he's going to throw it in your face and you're going to have to sit there and watch him while he has sex with this woman. Like, how could you? You definitely have to have self-esteem issues and mentally be abused in order to endure that type of behavior from someone, because there's no way in hell I would live like that. No way in hell I would let a man treat me like that. Bye, deuces. Like I could be single for the rest of my life. Well, in 1984, he then tells Janice he wants a second wife and he wants to make Kay, aka Colleen, his second wife. She was livid, like and hurt, But I mean, what could she say? For her, this was definitely a breaking point. So she would speak to the pastor, and she basically confided in the pastor. In April of that same year, Janice basically tells Colleen that Cameron is not in a community where someone will make him after you. And what Janice does is she basically rescues Colleen. She sets her free, and they both fleed together. 3 months later, Janice reported Cameron to the police, and when she called him and told him that she left, it was reported that he cried from her doing this. So then became the trial. Both of them confessed, against him and what he did. And Janice even told the courts that he had murdered a young girl as well. But it was so ironic. They don't really put her story in Colleen's story. That's why I said I will focus about the girl in the box. But I do want to say her name. Her name is Marie Elizabeth Spanhike, and she was killed back in 1976. So he was basically on a roll before he even got to Colleen, because Colleen came about in 1977. Cameron's defense team basically stated that Janice was a willing participant in everything that occurred, and he also took the stand for himself. Basically took the stand stating that the violent acts were not as extreme as what Janice and Colleen were making it out to be. What's even crazy is the defense team hired a psychiatric trying to talk to Colleen, basically stating that what she went through was very similar to what individuals go through in the Marines. Like how? So they get raped and stuff like that too? Because that doesn't make sense to me. So the jury took 3 days to deliberate, and they found him guilty. He was found guilty on 7 of the 8 counts, including kidnapping and rape. See, the series of sentencings, which in total included about 104 years. Cameron tried to do an appeal, but it was later denied. He basically stated that the judge's opinions kind of like deterred the case, but it had no way. Like, sir, you did all. 2015, he then applies to be paroled, but he was also denied as well. Yeah, he needs to stay his butt in there. Probably wondering if Janice got any time. She did not, because her testimony against him kind of set her free. Although I feel like she had a part, I can understand that she was also in that capacity of dealing with someone who wanted her to be submissive as well. So she did things just to please him. I was looking to see anything about Colleen after the facts. I was reading that she stated during the time of being in the box, she would put her mind to travel anywhere, because of course our mind is kind of like, it can keep you in prison if you allow it to, even if you are not in prison. So she tried to think positive and about her family. So after she did escape, she did say that she did have a really good life afterwards. Yeah, she's basically just grateful to be alive. I cannot imagine, because that's like traumatic for 7 years to be held in captivity. But, like she said, it's grateful to be alive and to have your life back, and you have to run with it. And that is pretty much The Girl in the Box. If you guys want to check out any more, just go look online. There's a lot of information about it. I do want to check out the movie. It's also called The Girl in the Box, so you can check that out as well. So guys, into the next Crime Story Sunday, I will see you. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to comment any new video ideas that you guys have. So I will see you. Bye guys.